The path of agricultural chemicals to the environment. Agricultural chemicals are exactly what they appear to be: chemicals that are applied to agricultural products on farms all over the world every day. These chemicals are part of a class of chemicals called pesticides. Pesticides are chemicals that intend to prevent, destroy, repel, or mitigate any pests. Well-known pesticides include insecticides, which target unwanted insects, and herbicides, which target unwanted plants. However, when these chemicals are sprayed onto crops, they do not remain on the farm. Instead, a study has found that 70,000 tons of potentially harmful agricultural chemicals end up in rivers, oceans, aquifers, and the soil. To understand how this happens, it's important to first understand why these chemicals are used in agriculture to begin with. Pesticides have been essential in agricultural production for a very long time. Pesticides have been an easy way for farmers to control the weeds and insects that threaten the quality or quantity of their crops. Pesticides have also helped reduce diseases and increase crop yields. Without the use of pesticides, there would be a 78% loss in fruit production, a 32% loss in cereal production, and a 54% loss in vegetable production. Pesticides have also helped increase the diet variety in the United States.
The chemicals used to achieve these results, however, vary. Agrochemicals can be purchased in many forms, such as powders, liquids, and pellets. Common agrochemicals include methyl bromide, sodium fluoroacetate, organophosphates, aluminum phosphide, and glyphosate, a widely used weed killer. Other pesticides include fluororadiffor-1, an insecticide, haloxyphene methyl, and sulfonylurea-4. These chemicals are then applied to crops in order to reap the benefits of pesticide use. This application process occurs in several different ways. The most common application apparatus is the boom sprayer, which allows the chemical to be spread onto broad surfaces. Other spraying methods include misters and blanket wipers. Rope wick applicators and black backpack sprayers have also been used. More sophisticated detection technologies such as Weed Seeker and Weed It also use infrared light to detect weeds and spray only green plants. Aerial spraying and even pesticide-coated seeds are other application methods for these agricultural chemicals.
This then brings us back to how these chemicals leave the agricultural area in which they were applied. When pesticides are applied to their target, they have the potential to undergo transfer or degradation in the environment. Pesticide degradation is when pesticides that have been applied to their target are then degraded by sunlight, chemical reactions, or microbes. This may take days, or it may even take years. Pesticide degradation processes control the persistence of the chemical in the soil. Pesticides, however, can also migrate through various means. The first is sorption. This occurs when the pesticide binds to the soil particle that it reaches. This results in soil pollution. The second is volatilization. Volatilization is when a solid or liquid is turned into gas. When pesticides are volatilized, they can then be carried away from their application site by the air. The third is spray drift. This is exactly what it sounds like. It is the movement of pesticide droplets through the air and away from the treatment site. This can cause environmental pollution and food contamination. The fourth is leaching. Pesticide leaching is when contaminants like pesticides are carried by water downward through permeable soil. So instead of absorbing to soil particles, they instead leach into groundwater and cause water pollution. The fifth is surface runoff. This is the movement of pesticides dissolved in water over a slanted surface. Pesticides can move as compounds that are dissolved in water or as compounds attached to soil particles. Pesticides can also be washed off during rainfall.
All of these different forms of pesticide migration can potentially help the pesticide enter rivers, lakes, streams, aquifers, the air, and the soil. When these pesticides migrate through a source of water, for example, they can travel far beyond the farm and crops to which they were first applied. The pathway that agricultural chemicals can take is thus limitless.